Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support. Any kind of updates I usually go about on Twitter X platform. Um, Regarding the channel, later today we'll have a plan to run an episode later on. So that's that. And again, all the content it's usually displayed here on the main page of the channel in playlist. So enjoy yourself checking those out. In terms of news, similarly, uh, the sales of the 9070 or RDNA 4 series are in line with the claims of Dr. Lisa Su that I covered yesterday. Um, she said basically the 90, she specifically mentioned 9070 XT is selling around 10 times more than previous RDNA launches or previous GPU launches. And I think I saw some reporting that the RDNA 4 is selling more than the combined Blackwell lineup altogether, which is a lot of models still. And again, it comes to the fact that basically NVIDIA isn't bringing GPUs to the market again. I'm assuming production delays and all that jazz. But I think also the fact that AMD delayed the launch of RDNA 4 did manage to get them to pull out more inventory on the retailer side of things there. And we got some news regarding Mind Factory, which is kind of the micro center or the Amazon of Germany. And as I don't know, to have an idea what is happening on kind of the European market, let's say, that we have usually good sense of how hardware is selling through Germany there, even though all the financial conditions, all what they are being happening there. It seems to be selling well and getting out of stock pretty quickly. The RDNA 4, that is. Um, just Monday, past Monday, they sold RTX 9070 DXT, sold around 105 units just in one day. Again, this comes with several models here, as you can see here. And it's as far as the main competitor of direct competitor of this CPU, the 5070 Ti, just sold 10 units. Again, it comes also by the fact that they don't have a lot of stock there, and the fact that the prices does not compensate getting that extra money to get a little boost in terms of gaming performance, which at this time in point in Germany is around $300 higher. The 5070 Ti regarding the 9070 XT in terms of average prices, it seems. But yeah, AMD is selling well. Even the, as you can see here, data of the current week. So this is this week, starting Monday. They again, as you can see, 9070 XT 105 units. The 5090 20 units is the best selling GPU again, given the fact that even at the price point of around, I think it's supposedly around 3,000 euros. Um, which I think it's with VAT included. Again, all European prices always include VAT, but without VAT, it translates to around to $2,700, which is a lot, which is basically 1.5 times higher price than the supposedly MSRP. And even on other retailers, it seems to be sold sometimes in $3,000 all over the place. Again, it's a lot of price hike up there. Yeah, and even the 5080 only sell 10 units, 5070 Ti, as I mentioned, 10 units, the 7800 XT 10 units, which is at the right price. It's a very good option, even to play. Like lower detail settings on 4K native, or even the fact that again we got the, how do they call it? Oh my god, the upscaling from AMD. I completely forgot the name. FSR, sorry, the FSR for even though it's only applicable to RDNA 4 GPUs. Again, we also have the integration system on integration system. Sorry, the integration on games itself. Supposedly, I think it's if games already support FSR 3.1, you can through drivers already improve that. Again, it enables you to play to a certain degree 4K upscaled in pretty good frame rates with a 9070 XT. But yeah, overall, it seems that again AMD is taking the lead so far in terms of sales. Hopefully, we will see the prices of the GPU come closer, at least to MSRP. Then it can be justified to buy these GPUs. In terms of previous generations, I'm not sure how the price is compared to these new GPUs. But yeah, given that even the 7600 sold a little bit, sold as much as the 5080s, and even the 4060s sold kind of 10 units also. Again, it's a little bit too early to tell, but then again, this is German market numbers, especially from Mind Factory, which is just one big retailer. But it seems the trend of sales regarding between RDNA 4 and the Blackwell GPUs is favoring more the AMD. Again, there's still some rumors persisting regarding the supposedly upcoming high-end GPU, probably from AMD. Some people call it 9080 XT. I heard from 9070 XTX. I don't know. It's rumors. I'm not sure if by any chance, given that we only have two chips, the Navi 48 and Navi 44, I don't know how AMD could deliver a new GPU better than the 9070 XT. I don't know, brute force it through power and OCing, overclocking the GPU out of it, and still. But again, it doesn't seem to me that the fact that you can overclock and probably deliver more power to this high-end chip, again, probably better yields, and if it comes, I will assume it's a very low stock, and maybe for them to try and come around, I don't know, put it on the sale or $900, something like that, to try and compete. I don't know, 5080. I'm not sure if they even going to be able to compete directly with the 5080 if they launch this rumored higher end GPU with RDNA 4. Again, the technology, this is like a single die thing here, so there is no shenanigans happening with CCD stuff there. But yeah, got some rumors there. I try not to cover that much because it seems a little bit unfeasible at this point in time. I think it's a little bit probably too late, but you never know. Maybe they have something under their sleeve regarding this in terms of strategy to try and tackle the higher end or try to tackle the higher end. But yeah, at this moment, at MSRP, these new GPUs, I think the best value per se, it's the 9070 XT, again, at MSRP point. Other than that, if you can find, I don't know, good deals on older GPUs, again, I usually recommend if you really need to buy a GPU, just buy the best GPU for the price that you can, depending on the budget that you have. If you can wait, again, it's better to wait a little bit more. Don't go for or don't fall for the FOMO of buying a new GPU. Again, I was a little bit on the beginning of the year before all the official announcements, a little bit worried not having if I wanted to upgrade for a new GPU. But again, there is no justification on in terms of uplift in performance generation to generation. But yeah, I will leave it at that. In other news, again, I've been trying to follow the best I can with this SteamOS stuff there, given that, again, SteamOS now is going not only being introduced in the Steam Deck, but in third party handhelds like the ROG Ally. I think it will come up. I assume in the next iteration of these handhelds, they will be introducing SteamOS. Again, SteamOS can and is pretty good in these handhelds because it's basically made from the ground up to be optimized on this kind of hardwares. And there was somebody that likes to tweak around that the fonts, I don't know how to pronounce this, usually does gaming handheld reviews, and he try it out. Again, this is not something made from the ground up for this specific device. But he tried his best on installing SteamOS on this ROG Ally. And even though, again, the fact that there is lack of optimization on for this hardware, it's interesting enough that in some cases they can basically, with newer hardware, they can go toe to toe with the Steam Deck in terms of FPS here. It performs good in Batman Arkham Knight. Again, this is an older game, and all of them are 7020p. But yeah, they almost basically match in terms of FPS of what you can play here. But it's going to be very interesting, at least for me, to see how they can handle the optimizations not only for handhelds, but when we will have a full-blown kind of SteamOS for PCs or desktop PCs. Um, because I think, given that SteamOS is Linux based and AMD seems to perform a little bit better in Linux systems, especially when the gaming is involved. And other workloads, it seems to be AMD is more in line of optimizing certain stuff, at least with the driver stuff on a Linux-based system. And hopefully Valve can deliver a SteamOS desktop experience at least similar to Windows in a sense navigation, because I'm so used to using Windows. And not only for playing games, but hopefully to productivity workloads, like for example the editing stuff, more content creator stuff there that can handle those softwares. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if and when this will come to desktop PCs. Again, I think, for example, lately, as I've been mentioning, I'm thinking of maybe saving some money, if possible, to have a dual PC setup. In a sense, more for streaming and probably recording to try and juice up the best I can my gaming PC, because I do everything in just one system. Probably having just one system for gaming, so the main system, and then have, I don't know, mini PC or a small, very small form factor PC to do the recording and the streaming, and probably do the editing of the videos and such. I don't know. That's why I'm still a little bit hesitant and jump in and spend money on a thing like a mini PC or something like that, because for starters, I don't have the enough budget to do so as I wanted to do. But yeah, we got also this kind of factors that might influence my decision here, because if I can have, for example, a SteamOS with a desktop experience very similar to Windows, I don't know. Maybe I will have to then jump the shark and go for that second PC, uh, good enough for me to do all the recordings, the editings, and the such, and leave just one system to play around. I don't know. Maybe I have to check that out. But yeah, it's very interesting, all these considerations that I have to take here. But yeah, regarding industry, this is what I got in terms of games. I did watch the Monster Hunter Wilds title updates. Interesting enough, they just focus on the content itself they are going to bring with this title update and tease out stuff that might be coming out in the summer. They didn't tackle anything regarding, for example, like patches or stuff they are working on to I don't know. I don't know. I think a good mention to try and ease the players regarding I don't know, PC performance, especially because the game is selling sold, at least that so far, bunkers in Steam. I think a little bit attention to try to ease, say that again we are still working on optimization, or something like that. I think would be at least give a good look for the game itself. But yeah, in terms of what they are bringing here, again, I'm not very well aware of how Monster Hunter games work in terms of title updates. I know they bring usually new monsters and quests and the such. I'm not sure how important it is, this kind of thing here, but they are going to bring one of the teased monsters, which is Mizotsune. It's making a return in heading into Forbidden Lands on this title update and can be unlocked. The mission can be unlocked by speaking with Kanya in Scarlet Forest when they are under rank 21. Then we got also Arch Tempered Raidao. I think there is exist Tempered, and I think they are introducing the Arch Tempered, which is supposedly a more difficult beast. I assume I think it has different combat routines, and it's more tankier and hits harder, from what I understand, and is going to make that debut for an event quest for players above above Hunter rank 50, and it will give also new Raidao Gamma armor set, and then there is also going to be a mission unlocked where players can hunt Zou Shia, which is kind of, where is it? It's not here. It's a very white this one, very white monster. I think you can fight it. I think you only fight it once on the story mode, but I think they are going to introduce this monster again by doing quests here to hunt this guy. You also have then access to Zoshia parts for high rank Master and Pelico equipment. Then they're going to introduce a new area, which is the Grand Hub, where you have a lot of activities and new ways to socialize with other players. One of the activities seems to be barrel bowling minigame, which gives you rewards like pendants and the such there. And then they're going to introduce, I think this is for people that bought the deluxe edition or they bought the DLC stuff there, which is Return of Classic Gestures at free DLC, I assume. There is going to be the introduction of cosmetic DLC pack 1 also. But yeah, and one of the things is you can give Alma brand new outfit and ability to change her glasses again, but you have to have the premium stuff there. Interesting stuff. Again, it seems that this game is going to have a good long life. I just hope they really do focus a little bit more on optimization on the PC side of things. Even though with some mods you can remove some of those obstacles. But yeah, hopefully we'll see something regarding that. I think the game is going to be updated. Yeah, end of May they're going to update the version of game. So that's why I'm assuming probably there's going to be some, I don't know, optimization and patching there. And then on the summer side of things, I don't know, August maybe we'll have an updated version of the game also. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if this is only because they're going to introduce more content or if they're really going to do some patching and optimization side of things there. And also regarding the first Berserker Kazan, we got the Famitsu review scores. It's also basically a 9 out of 10, so a 36 out of 40, which is interesting to see. Again, I saw some stuff on uh, again, usually Twitter, it can be a little bit messy to navigate there. Regarding that, the game is not good because, again, it only, again, lacks diversity and all that jazz, and because it's a white male protagonist. Again, when people don't have nothing better to do, again, people just descend into, I don't know, trying to excuse stuff there. Same thing can be said with Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is not doing very good. But again, it's not a game that interested me, so I avoid covering too much drama with Assassin's Creed Shadow. There is a lot of people already doing that. Again, I try to focus more on stuff that interested me, and not in a more positive way, but things that interested me in the sense that I want to buy, I want to play, I want to do something there. But other than that, I usually try not to cover because, again, I don't like very much the drama stuff there, unless I think it's something that helps me make a point there. But yeah, and then we got rumors regarding Half-Life 3. Again, this is always been brewing. I think a little bit has to do also with the fact that we got Half-Life 2 RTX remix or something like that they're called, RTX demo. which is basically the game is being remade. I don't know how with the RTX stuff there. It's like a platform that they have with RTX. Basically, can help out with textures and introducing ray tracing on the games, which improves a little bit the global illumination settings and all that jazz. But yeah, supposedly, again, this is all rumored. Again, take it with a huge bucket of salt. Um, it's speculation here that it might be close to completion, as the announced game is expected to be the third main entry in the series has entered the optimization phase. Again, this rumor comes because supposedly that somebody discovered through internal files and all that jazz on Valve. They found groups in the I don't know in the files. I don't know how they call it, which has to do with HLX audio, HLX artists. They found this in the internal systems and also the introduction of the code of console commands related to optimization and NPC behavior adjustments, dynamic navigation mesh, deformable props, improved dynamic care systems, and more. Again, people are suggesting that this HLX might be Half-Life 3. Again, I think what more likely it's something like a offshoot, for example, like the Alex game, which was basically a VR game, which with some mods, they managed to put it and be playable without the VR set. Uh, I think probably it's something related to Half Life, maybe a new game. I'm not sure. Maybe it can be even, I don't know, a remake, complete remake, official complete remake of Half Life 1. I don't know. Um, from the interviews that I've been seeing from Half-Life 3 and the possibilities of this game coming out, again, I think they have a creative problem in the sense they could not at this moment in time get around and wrap up the story there. And also with that, they think they don't have enough innovation per se to introduce in the new entry of the gaming series for to be justified there. Just they don't just want to make a Half-Life 3 in the same vein that Half-Life 2. They wanted to have more an innovation regarding the second Half-Life and the DLC and the episode stuff there. Um, yeah, I think this might be an offshoot, maybe I don't know, full-fledged remake of the first one. I don't know, but yeah, we'll have for sure if this it is what they found here inside of internal systems. Maybe it can even be a troll from inside Valve. They know that people are trying to look in the internal system and just I don't know put out this. They'll let people check these kind of things and might be a nothing burger. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if something comes out of this. And then lastly, we can again. I see the industry insisting on this thing with GTA 6 from a lot of fronts here, and now they're coming up again. I think this had to do with a lot of excuses of a lot of publishers don't know what to do with the games that they have or the projects that they have in hand. Again, we got a lot of slop coming out in this last 5 years, increasing especially in this last couple of years of not doing well because they don't launch good games and they try to justify any kind of reasoning to the games not selling well. And I think that now they are afraid of the fact that GTA 6 can be delayed, that some companies are going to tank because they are counting on, supposedly, they are counting on with a specific release date of GTA 6 so they can launch their games before or at least not coincide with this game. Again, the game will be a huge sales maker undoubtedly. It's been 12 years since the launch of GTA 5, and even that game has been iterated from new console generations. And I think the last patch brought RTX and a lot of other improvements there. I think my opinion regarding this, I think they are with a lot of what we call Hollywood mentality, which is games are not like movies. And I think some publishers have this Hollywood mentality that they don't want to launch a movie in the same week with a supposedly big movie in terms of competition. And games are very different. For example, in the indie space scene, I don't think there is a lot of worries of big games coming out, and especially when we consider genres. I don't think publishers should worry too much if the game is a completely different genre. Again, for example, you're going to launch GTA 6, which is going to be supposedly action third-person shooter, open world kind of multi-activity stuff. There, it's going to be a long game where you can going to dig yourself in that game for a lot of hours. um, I don't see the justification, for example, I don't know, a horror game or even a first person shooter or even the driving game or something like that to delay or try to move upwards in the timeline of launching a game to avoid GTA 6. Again, it will remove some of the sales. It can do that. But again, if the game is good, people will eventually buy that game. Again, the game has to be good. If you're launching slop stuff, the game will not sell. It can be huge IP. Got the example again, Assassin's Creed Shadows. A lot of people are trying to, I don't know, justify or try to spin the narrative of saying that it's a huge success with the, as I mentioned yesterday, with 2 million players. Again, it only means that 2 million players, if that's the correct number, that 2 million players interacted with the game, and people trying to conflate the 2 million players interacting with the game with the fact that it's going to be that they had 2 million sales, which is not 100% the case. um, Again, as I mentioned yesterday, the fact that you have subscription services like Xbox Pass and the Ubisoft Plus there. uh, for example, Ubisoft Plus, I think you pay $20 per month. You pay $20, you interact with the game, you play the game, and then you cancel the subscription, and that's it. So instead of selling a game or people interacting with the game for $70 at least, the base game, from what I understand, you just pay $20. So it's a huge discount there. The same thing can be said, for example, with Xbox Pass. Even again, you pay, I don't know, $15 or something like that for the base stuff, and if you have that on Xbox Game Pass, you can play the game. Again, I don't know how much Ubisoft can get out of that interaction. For sure it's not $70 and not even $20 as Ubisoft Plus. Again, um, then we have to also consider, for example, there are going to be um, people that buy that game on Steam, play for a couple of hours, you see, oh my god, this game is not for me. They just refund, but they will take the number of the sale and try to hype up that number. But as time goes by, the sales and the money that will enter the pocket of Ubisoft will show up eventually or not, depending on the number of sales. So they can hype up whatever. They're trying to make it seem that it's going better than it is. And all of that also comes to the fact that um, I don't know, with this GTA 6, the I think a lot of publishers also want to wait for the launch of this game because supposedly, according to rumors, the game is going to cost $100. At least that's what they want it to cost, the publisher side of things, because it's going to be a huge game. And again, it comes down to quality. Um, because they want to justify afterwards their own games selling themselves by $100 as on the base edition. Sorry, I had to sneeze there. But yeah, people again are too afraid with this Hollywood mentality of not trying to launch a movie in the same time slot that the other competitors are going to do that. I think it has also to do with the fact that they know they don't have a product that is quality wise as the same level that supposedly GTA 6 will be. And yeah, I think most of it comes to the of a lot of wishing. and a lot of spinning, and try to justify the fact that recently we got a lot of slop launched from these publishers here, especially on the triple and supposedly quadruple A games like uh, Skull and Bones, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Star Wars Outlaws, Dragon and Veilguard. Again, all of them supposedly were about to be huge sellers. They did nothing, and for example, we got out of nowhere. We got supposedly out of nowhere. We got Black Myth Wukong sold at least 30 million copies. Again, I don't know what they're trying to come up with here. I think it's a mix of trying to wait for GTA 6 to launch at $100, hopefully for them, and then they can justify because a game as big as GTA 6, if we do a game as big as GTA 6, we can justify internally to launch it also at $100. And this comes by the fact that instead of them trying to trim the fat in terms of production costs and in terms of overhead, in terms of people that they have working on the games themselves, they prefer to increase the the price of the games. It's the same thing with kind of, that's why I bring up the Hollywood mentality. You have, for example, these Marvel movies and these Disney movies. You have productions budgets around $300 million and above. Then you have also to also put the marketing budget there, which usually I think in Hollywood movies, I think the rough estimate is you put at least half the production budget in marketing budget, which leads to in a $300 million movie that in terms of production costs, then you had up, I don't know, $150 million just to market it itself. Then again, you have a product that cost at least $450 million to make. Then you have to estimate how many ticket sales that you have to sell to recoup that cost. The same thing is happening on the gaming industry. Instead of them trying to keep their costs lower, they just decide that or you have to sell more copies of that game, or you have to increase the price of that product, in this case games, which will not the big one of the big differences between this Hollywood mentality and the gaming industry is the fact that usually a ticket price, I think in the United States, costs around $15 movie ticket, a normal movie ticket, while a game costs at this moment in time an average of $70 base version of that game itself. So there is the investment part of the consumers there, that if I'm going to spend $70, I want it to be a good experience. While if you have $15 on the pocket and just spend like 2 hours in a movie experience, if it is a bad experience, again, there is okay, we don't see it again, that movie. But in a game, it's a completely different experience. And I think they lost themselves a little bit. They lost the plot there regarding how they should interact, especially with consumers on the gaming industry, because they, by the fact that you are working or doing a product, nobody is. You're not owed anything. You're just putting a product on the market, and you have to, if not cater to an audience that is the majority of the audience for that specific product, you will not get sales. That's for sure. But yeah, uh, finish up here this rant here with some gaming deals. Some of them are on my library here. Some of these recommendations here got, for example, Dead Space remake. It's 75% off. I do recommend this game. The only nitpick again is there is some stuttering, or especially near doors that you unlock, and then the level loads on the background. Sometimes you get some stuttering here and there, but the rest seems to be pretty fluid. I did enjoy the game systems there, very close to the original one. Again, a lot of improvements visually and all that jazz. Story expands a little bit more, so it's, if it is the first time that you're going to play and you never heard about Dead Space, I think is you have a lot of more context of what's happening in this world. But yeah, if not sure, you can check out my gaming series here. The first episode will get you a good idea what this game is all about. Then you got Death Stranding, Director's Cut, again, 50% off. Again, Director's Cut is the way to go. I did play a lot of this game, I think 20 hours or so, if not mistaken, from where I claim it for free on Epic Game Store. I will eventually try to see if I can manage to play it before Death Stranding 2 comes out on PC. I will try to stream it one of these days. I don't know when, but I have to start off all over again. Then we got Mutineer Zero Road to Eden. Pretty good game. Isometric turn-based battle game here. 70% off. I do recommend it. The deluxe edition, which has the DLC Seed of Evil, gets a little bit, it expands a little bit more on the story side of things. I do recommend this game at this price point. And again, you got a demo here to try out if you think this might be something for you, or you can check out again my gaming series on this game to have a rough idea what this game is all about. Then you got the spiritual sequel of that game, which is Miasma Chronicles. Again, mostly positive reviews, around 70-75%. From what I understand, it improves a lot on just not only on the graphic-wise stuff there, but in the combat systems, I think they are a little bit improved from the Mutineer Zero game. And at this moment in time, it's 50% off. Again, completely different universe, completely different story, but it seems takes inspiration, especially on the game systems here. I think it might be a good buy here. Then you got the Star Wars Jedi games here, the Fallen Order. I can recommend this game at 90% off. The base edition is good enough. The deluxe edition is just some skins here and there. I do recommend this game. It's not a very long experience. You might see some issues here and there pop out from time to time regarding the engine itself. I think it could be a little bit more optimized, but it is what it is. But yeah, at this price point, I still recommend it. If you like Star Wars, I think even the story is very serviceable. Characters are pretty decent. I don't see huge, I don't know, huge conflicts on the main lore per se. But yeah, again, I also did a gameplay series on this series, on this game, Fallen Order and Survivor also. Survivor, I can recommend this at this price point. I think the base edition also serves pretty well. I think the deluxe edition doesn't add too much from the base game. And again, you might have to tone down a little bit the graphic settings here and there. It's still a little bit heavy. There is some stuttering in some areas still. They didn't patch fully this game. But overall, my notes is it's an improvement from the previous game in all aspects. It's a bigger game, got more stuff to do. The story spans a little bit more, and yeah, basically that's it. And again, you can check out the first episode to have an idea if this game might interest you or not. Then you got Cyberpunk again. It's that game. The Ultimate Edition seems the way to go because of Phantom Liberty, and it's 48% off on that Ultimate Edition here. Eventually, I will have to play this game. I just don't know when I have time. Let's see. And then lastly, we got Hogwarts Legacy, one of those that I really also want to try out. I did enjoy the movies. I think this is inspired by the books, more likely. But yeah, 75% off on this very positive feedback game. I think it's, and again, I think they have mods for this game also. Again, eventually, I think they're going to launch like a director's cut of this game. Not sure. But yeah, at this moment in time, 75% off seems to be a good price point for this game for sure. And it's one of those games that led WB on having huge boost in terms of sales, best selling game in that year. But yeah, the other games that came out from WB Games didn't go that well. But yeah, that's another conversation. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up here with the plug on my Patreon as usual for access support. The access support is more in line for me to try and see if I can get a better storage solution so I can have backups for the stuff that I do for my clients and also some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And that's again, as I mentioned in the early stages of this video, is the fact that the dual PCs thing it's on the back burner mainly because my main worry is getting this I don't know storage solution so I can put myself at ease having everything backed up 2-3 times, mainly because of the things that I do with my clients. But yeah, other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunami Master out.